The social ghost. Imagine this. You arrive at a small gathering. Music playing, snacks out. People talking about everything from weekend plans to whether aliens are just government interns who forgot to clock out. You walk in confident, smiling, nodding, even manage a brave little, "Hey, how's it going?" to someone you barely recognize. For the first 10 minutes, everything feels manageable, maybe even pleasant. Then it begins. Your social battery starts draining faster than a phone with 15 apps open and 2% battery left. Someone asks a harmless question. So, what do? Your brain immediately plays the polite version of a Windows shutdown sound. You're still standing there, still smiling, but internally, your system is entering emergency energy conservation. Words require effort, eye contact feels like a group project, and suddenly your only objective becomes survival. Find exit. Avoid long conversations. Leave without making it weird. This is the social ghost. The introvert who doesn't leave social events dramatically. They evaporate from them. One moment they're standing by the snack table. The next moment? Gone. No announcement, no goodbyes. Just the smooth disappearance of someone who quietly reached their social limit. People sometimes assume the social ghost dislikes people. Not at all. They enjoy socializing, just in limited doses, because every conversation costs energy, and once that internal battery starts blinking red, the most heroic thing they can do is disappear gracefully. The social ghost isn't rude. They simply understand the exact moment their energy runs out, and instead of crashing publicly, they vanish like a social ghost who reached their battery limit. The overthinker. Here's a moment that happens to certain people almost daily. You're walking down the street, someone across the road waves. Naturally, you wave back. But halfway through the motion, your brain freezes. Wait, were they waving at you or the person behind you? Congratulations, your mind has just opened 47 mental tabs trying to solve this mystery. Welcome to the life of the overthinker. The introvert whose brain refuses to leave a single interaction unexamined. Most people experience conversations once. The overthinker experiences them twice. Once while it's happening, and again later during the replay. A simple conversation becomes a full investigation. Did that joke sound weird? Did I talk too much? Why did they pause before responding? Inside the overthinker's mind, every detail becomes evidence. A glance, a shrug, a message that says, "sure," instead of, "okay." To most people, these are tiny moments. To the overthinker, they're puzzle pieces. Their brain constantly scans tone, timing, facial expressions, and word choice like a detective solving a social mystery, which is exhausting. But it also comes with a hidden strength. Overthinkers are incredibly perceptive. They notice shifts in mood. They pick up on tension others miss. They replay conversations not because they're paranoid, but because they care about getting things right. Which means when they connect with someone, it's thoughtful and genuine. This is the overthinker. The introvert whose brain keeps analyzing the moment long after everyone else has moved on. The observer. Picture a group conversation at a cafe. 5 people around the table. Everyone talking at once. One person telling a dramatic work story. Another debating pineapple on pizza. And then there's you, quietly sipping your drink, nodding occasionally, adding exactly 3 words to the conversation every 20 minutes. Not because you're bored, not because you're clueless, but because you've accepted your role. You are the observer. While everyone else behaves like main characters, the observer exists comfortably in the background, listening, watching, studying the social dynamics unfolding in front of them. Observers notice things other people miss. The tiny eye roll when someone tells a bad joke, the awkward pause when a topic dies, the subtle tension between 2 people pretending everything is fine. Observers don't fight for the spotlight. They don't interrupt. They simply collect information, like social anthropologists studying human behavior in the wild. And the funny part? Because the observer speaks so rarely, when they finally do say something, everyone listens. Their comments land like unexpected plot twists, short, accurate, sometimes surprisingly funny. This is the observer, the quiet introvert who may seem like background noise, but secretly understands the entire story happening around them. The Daydreamer. You're sitting in a group conversation. Everyone is talking about something practical. Deadlines, weekend plans, why the office printer never works. And technically, you're there. But mentally, You left about 5 minutes ago. Somewhere between the second printer complaint and the third snack discussion, your brain opened a different window. Now you're imagining something else entirely. A story, an idea, a random what-if scenario that feels more interesting than the conversation happening in front of you. Welcome to the world of the Daydreamer, the introvert whose mind drifts into its own private universe. Daydreamers aren't distracted because they don't care. They drift because their imagination is louder than reality. Their thoughts become stories. Conversations become alternate versions. Ideas grow into full mental movies with characters and plot twists. Sometimes they walk into a room and forget why. Sometimes they miss half a conversation because their brain took a creative detour. And sometimes people assume they're spaced out. But daydreamers aren't empty. Their minds are just full somewhere else, full of ideas, full of stories, full of possibilities most people never think about. This is the Daydreamer, the introvert who may look quiet on the outside, but inside their mind, an entire universe is constantly unfolding. The Curator. Here's a situation that confuses people. Someone invites you to a big group hangout. 20 people, music playing, everyone talking over each other, stories bouncing around the room. And while everyone else seems energized, you're quietly calculating how quickly you can escape without looking rude. But here's the interesting part. Put that same introvert alone with someone they genuinely connect with, and everything changes. Suddenly, they're talkative, engaged, even funny. This is the Curator, the introvert who connects not by quantity, but by chemistry. Curators don't build large circles of acquaintances. They build small collections of meaningful relationships. To outsiders, this can seem confusing. Why are they quiet with some people but open with others? Because curators operate like emotional art collectors. Not every piece belongs in the gallery, not because it's bad, just because it doesn't belong in their collection. Large groups drain them. Surface-level conversations exhaust them. But when they find someone they truly connect with, they open up completely. This is the Curator, the introvert whose circle may be small, but every connection inside it was chosen carefully. The Wallflower. You walk into a small gathering, nothing intense, just a few people chatting. Everyone else seems to walk in like their personality is already fully loaded. Meanwhile, your brain is buffering at about 3%. You suddenly become aware of everything. Where should you stand? Where do your hands go? Are you making normal eye contact or staring like a malfunctioning robot? Someone smiles and says, "Hey, come join us," and your entire nervous system performs a small internal jump scare. Welcome to the life of the Wallflower, the introvert who doesn't rush into the center of the room. They stay near the edges, quietly observing, quietly adjusting. Wallflowers aren't avoiding people, they're warming up to the environment. Every new room comes with unfamiliar energy, new personalities, new dynamics, so their mind studies the room before participating. But once a Wallflower becomes comfortable, something shifts. The nervousness fades, the conversation flows. This is the Wallflower, the introvert who may stand quietly at the edge of the room, simply waiting for the moment the room begins to feel safe. The Sentinel. Someone asks you a simple question. How are you really doing? And almost instantly, something inside your mind lowers a quiet curtain. Not dramatically, just instinctively. Welcome to the world of the Sentinel, the introvert who guards their inner world carefully. To most people, the Sentinel appears calm, composed, even mysterious. They offer polite answers, a steady smile that reveals just enough. But beneath that surface is a deeper emotional world. Sentinels don't lack emotions. They feel deeply. They simply experience those emotions privately. Opening up too quickly can feel like handing someone something fragile and hoping it isn't mishandled. So trust builds slowly, conversation by conversation, layer by layer. But once someone earns that trust, the connection becomes powerful, steady, loyal, quietly unbreakable. This is the Sentinel, the introvert who protects their inner world carefully, revealing it only to those who prove they can be trusted. The Hermit. Your friends are excited. Let's go out tonight. Let's try that new cafe. Meanwhile, you're thinking one very specific thought, but my couch already understands me. Welcome to the life of the Hermit, the introvert whose favorite place in the world is the one they've built for themselves, their home. To others, staying in can look boring, but to the Hermit, their space is a sanctuary, a place where the noise of the outside world turns down. Everything there has a purpose: the lighting, the music, the chair that fits perfectly. Hermits don't dislike the outside world. They simply don't feel the need to constantly escape from their own space. Because inside their environment, something important happens. Their mind relaxes. Their thoughts slow down. Their energy returns. While others recharge through activity, hermits recharge through quiet. And when a hermit invites someone into that personal space, that's not casual. That's trust. This is the hermit. The introvert who doesn't chase the noise of the outside world, because they've already built a place where peace lives. The funny thing about introverts is that people often recognize themselves in more than one of these. A little social ghost, a little overthinker, maybe some hermit energy on the weekends. Because being an introvert isn't a single personality, it's a collection of strategies for navigating a loud world. And everyone develops their own combination. Which one felt the most familiar to you? If you enjoy exploring human behavior like this, subscribe for more videos that break it down.